Well, we're not quite on time, but we are ready to go. It's the second round of the Carabao Cup, and it's Jack Wilshere's Luton Town that visits Stamford Bridge. Xabi Alonso looking to make it 2 wins out of 2 to start off his competitive tenure as Chelsea manager. That game against Fulham had given Chelsea a lot of encouragement, and now it's an opportunity to just build it here at a game against his side, a League One side that we expected to beat here. Chelsea going very strong here. Got to say, I was expecting Xabi Alonso to maybe have just the 2 starters that started against Fulham. Instead, it's 5: Lacroix, Josh Achimpong, James, Cole Palmer, and Morgan Rogers as the 5 starters, who I'm expecting to start against Brighton as well. So it looks like 3 games in a week immediately for some of the boys. Starters that started against Fulham. Instead, it's 5: Lacroix. Well, Estevao does get a start, his first start of the season. Pep Chavaria, we're going to see him in Chelsea colours for the first time. The 2 debutants, of course, Maxence Lacroix and Morgan Rogers, who had that telling impact for the Chelsea second goal at the Craven Cottage Stadium. Xabi Alonso's side having to bounce back with a few moments of, I think, just poor bit of defending from Chelsea's point of view. Welcome to the stream, Gotham. You're getting the jinx on early, but I am expecting Chelsea to have a comfortable win here. There's enough quality. Here's Estevao. Nearly sneaks it into Cole Palmer. Chelsea's midfield pivot of Reece James and Valentin Barco, the Argentine. First time that we're seeing him in Chelsea colours. At Strasbourg last season, the season before at Brighton. Here's Achimpong. Great to see Josh Achimpong now getting that confidence from Xabi Alonso. Started against Fulham, starting here today. I'm expecting him to start against Brighton, even though Wesley Fofana will be having served his 2-game suspension. Here's Rogers. Barco. James, back to Barco. Happy with Emi Martinez, asks Gautam. I'm not over the moon, I'm not going to lie. But it looks like it's going to be a stopgap signing. I mean, Chelsea clearly putting their hopes on Mike Penders long term. Great to see him between the sticks here today so he can make that immediate impact. But it looks like Chelsea will be dipping into the market. Rob Sanchez, well, 4 years, and we're pretty much getting what we expect from Rob Sanchez. The occasional moment of brilliance mixed with some madness, man. Absolute madness. But it's the concentration. It's not as fundamental as a goalkeeper. He's got all the minerals that you need, but unfortunately his concentration levels, amount of mistakes, key mistakes that he makes, does hold us back. And if Chelsea are building something special here, Rogers nearly slips it through for Cole Palmer. Side netting there from Cole. And that connection, great to see it develop as early as possible. I think he'll do well. You need some experience in the back, especially if Reece is playing in midfield. But we do have Lacroix, Levi as our 2 experienced defenders, and of course Josh Achimpong or Wesley Fofana there. But I think it's more of a reputational thing almost, you know. It's just that security of knowing that you have someone like Emi Martinez. But let's not get it twisted. Martinez is not the perfect goalkeeper by any stretch of the imagination. Yes, he's won a lot of Lev Yashin awards, but some of them has just been there by... It's almost like his reputation in the 2022 World Cup. Still a very good goalkeeper, 33, 34 years of age. Aston Villa, of course, replacing Emi Martinez with Zion Suzuki. Japanese goalkeeper, 6'3". But yeah, I think Chelsea have arrived at the right decision, but I don't like how they've got there because they almost waited for Sanchez to make a clanger before the change was made. So Chelsea have generally been a bit proactive, looking at the future. They have done so with Mike Penders, but with Sanchez, that experiment needs to end. And I think Xabi Alonso says, yep, if I need to have something trustworthy, I cannot have a goalkeeper who's not, going to guarantee me that solidity at the back. And Chelsea can do all the good work, like we did in that first half against Fulham. Still, it was just 2-1. Yes, we ended up scoring the third, but another moment of weakness at the back. Both goalkeeper and Colville at fault. Chelsea's defense needs to tighten up here. Did concede against Sociedad at the bridge. And there's a run here on the left-hand side. Here's Marshall. He's up against Lacroix. Lacroix is an absolute 1v1 beast, man. Saw this against Fulham, and we're continuing to see it again. Once he just lengthens his strides and just opens up with the pace, he's so strong. He's, 6'5". Absolute monster, and we've missed that kind of profile for the longest of times. Well, that's the thing. Lacroix's importance has shifted Levi from his favored position. There's so much space that Bako has found Rogers, but Rogers is offside. And that left-hand side is almost brand new from Chelsea's point of view, really. You got Rogers there, Pep Chavaria, and Valentin Bako. Chelsea are playing with the back four on paper. Can very easily morph into a back three with Malo Gusto at right side at centre back, but I very much see the back four here today. You can see what Xabi Alonso is trying to do. He's gone with the 4-2-3-1. Palmer in the number 10. Esteval on the right, and of course Morgan Rogers on that left-hand side. Chavaria will be holding the width on that left, allowing Rogers to operate in those central pockets. Here's Esteval Willian. Disappointed to see Giovanni Kenda on the bench, but because we are going with the 4-2-3-1, you can understand why I was expecting to see Kenda and Esteval start on that right-hand side. Luton have played this really well on the right-hand side. Jack Wilshere's side, motoring on the right, decent ball in. Lacroix, no surprise with the interception. What's up, Karan? Has the Martinez news been confirmed? The way that you are reacting and the way that Gautam asked me, I guess I've been slightly behind on the news, preparing for the game here. But it looks like Emi Martinez is going to be Chelsea's number 1. This is an opportunity for Penders, though. If he sees Emi Martinez have a bit of a shaky period, he has to capitalize. Throw in here for Luton. Decent ball in there by Ashby. Chelsea cleared it away, but not too far away, and it's a strike from distance that Penders is happy to see it go closer to the corner flag, really. Horribly shanked effort there. League One side Luton. Remember them in the Premier League, Rob Edwards being their manager. Did play some very good football. Did give Arsenal a torrid time, really. Declan Rice scoring a late winner at the Luton home. Yeah, Jack Wilshere indeed. We are old, man. Look at the amount of, mid-2000s, 2010 ballers that we have managing now. And all midfielders too. That's fantastic to see. Here's Esteval. Forced to go backwards. But Danny Welbeck is leading the line. No sign of Emmanuel Omega yet, and he didn't feature at all in pre-season. And with the news that Chelsea have let Nico Jackson go on a permanent deal to Aston Villa, it looks like Danny Welbeck will be second choice, and Emmanuel Omega should be looking to displace Danny Welbeck as third choice. Chavaria does well. Well, Lacroix is playing as that left-hand side centre-half in the back two. Him and Josh Achumpong. I mean, both are 6'5", if I'm not mistaken. Josh Achumpong is huge. Here's Malo Gusto. Gusto you saw him play right wing back against Fulham today in his more preferred right back position. Here's the uncapped Spaniard, Pep Chavaria from Rayo Vallecano. You can understand what Xabi Alonso and Chelsea were looking to do with the wide areas here. Surround Palmer with as many runners as possible. It's not just Palmer, but also our midfield, expecting with no Enzo Fernandez. It looks like he's on his way to Manchester City. Chelsea might end up getting someone like Alex Scott. I mean, need to surround Palmer, Scott, as many runners as possible. Lovely leave. Welbeck to Morgan Rogers. Oh, nearly the perfect goal. The Chelsea front three combined. Lovely movement, man. Palmer just uses Danny Welbeck as a board, really. Great dummy. The 1-2, the give and go. Nearly the perfect goal there for Chelsea. Well, very surprised to see Cole Palmer and Morgan Rogers both starting here today. Xabi Alonso clearly taking this competition seriously. Here is Cole with 10 minutes on the clock. Chelsea win the ball high up the pitch. Here's Cole Palmer now. Decent bit of play. Just to venture forward. Cole with immaculate skill. Plays the 1-2 brilliantly. Cole Palmer! It's straight at the goalkeeper. And on the follow-up, it's a brilliant double save. Josh Keeley spreads himself and makes him as big as possible. Chelsea playing some liquid football outside the Luton box here. No surprise, Cole Palmer at the heart of it again. Great footwork. This Esteval's flick is superb, man. Cole hits it straight. The follow-up nearly falls to Danny Welbeck. Chelsea playing some lovely combinations there. Joseph Johnson getting nutmegged by that Esteval Willian clever flick. Corner for the Blues. Left-footed ball into the box is taken short here by Esteval. Cole Palmer now accelerates. Palmer drives, but well wide. Good start this from Chelsea. Expected to see Xabi Alonso, the players that he has at his disposal, not just the starting 11, but also the players on the bench. Expecting Chelsea to be a very high-scoring team in the Premier League. Austin McPhee, Chelsea's set-piece coach, already getting a bit of social media time, the way that he's endeared himself with his new club. Left Aston Villa after Chelsea poached him from there. Aston Villa being completely gutted, really. I was watching the John McGinn overlap interview with Gary Neville, Roy Keane, Ian Wright, and Jamie Carragher. And the way that he was describing Aston Villa is, it's a solid club, but it is hanging on by a thread. And that thread is Unai Emery, man. Here's Chavaria. Rogers. Morgan Rogers with the strike. It's well blocked. Chelsea continue to pile it on Luton here. Talking about how Unai Emery is that, he's not a thread though. He's like a Chinese bamboo stick that holding that club together. The domino effect will be apparent the day he leaves Aston Villa, man. The way that they have recruited and the players that they've lost, good luck to Villa. That's a foul on Cole Palmer. Well, I'm sure Xabi Alonso would love to give just 45 minutes to Cole and Morgan here. For that to happen, Chelsea need to be at least 2 or 3-0 up here. But anything more than 60 is just unnecessary. Here's Cole. Maxence Lacroix. Chavaria. Morgan Rogers in the half space. Barco. Rogers again. Barco, such a clever operator. I like that idea there by Valentin Barco. Rogers is so powerful. Here's Morgan Rogers, clips it. Esteval keeps it alive. Malo Gusto's first touch just bobbles around. Now Esteval Willian. Chelsea just relentless. Here's the skipper, James. Chavaria. Rogers. Barco. Barco playing in those pockets. Such a nifty little player. Here's Chavaria on the outside. Decent cross in. Wow. Here's Gusto now. Gusto strike. Well, he's a man that doesn't score too many goals. Did score last season. He scored in back-to-back games, if I remember correctly. I think he scored against Wolves in the Premier League. And who else did he score against? It was such a rare moment. It took him like 100 Chelsea games before he scored his first. Last thing you want to see is Malo Gusto shoot from like 20-25 yards. Josh Keeley has been called into action already on a couple of occasions. And Mike Penders, if there's ever an opportunity, I mean, Chelsea have literally gone for a Thibaut Courtois respawn. Everything, the way that he's built, the club that he got him from, and a lot of his other attributes. He was pretty good, I would say, at Strasbourg. Here is Esteval. Danny Welbeck's header is on target. Let's get a clean enough contact on him. This is a good game for Danny Welbeck to just get into the thick of things, get a bit of understanding going with Cole and Morgan. Brilliant by Danny Welbeck to pinch it here. Here's Cole Palmer, lovely first touch, slipped it through for Danny Welbeck. It was on target, but it's a good block. Well, this is a common theme that we are seeing in the last two games, at Chelsea winning the ball high up the pitch. It was apparent against Fulham, the number of chances that we just had at the Fulham goal because of Chelsea's unreal work rate in the final third. Seeing Danny Welbeck, age 35, still chasing back. Rogers eases past the challenge. Chavaria making the underlap on that occasion. Here's Cole. Barco pushing further forward. Now Morgan Rogers. Clever, but slightly overhit there. Out for a goal kick. Luton doing well to survive and hang in there. Just over 15 minutes on the clock here at the Bridge. Chelsea's reward of finishing 10th in the Premier League last season is a second-round Carabao Cup tie. Don't see that very often at Chelsea. Such an early start to the tournament. But considering Chelsea have no European football, very few midweek assignments, games like this become a lot more crucial, especially for the fringe players. Achimpong, beautifully done. got a first touch on him. Last season, it looked like Chelsea were looking to sell Josh Achimpong, and I almost popped a blood vessel. I mean, that would have been the most scandalous decision. What a ball by Reece. The touch by Estevao is ludicrous. Here's Cole Palmer. Wow. Chelsea are balling out here. Reece gets caught in midfield, though. Far too nonchalant there by Reece. Needs to just tighten up. Chelsea have insane recovery pace at the back with Josh and Maxence Lacroix. Guys, I don't know if you saw the Kylian Mbappe hat-trick, but as the game is going on, I implore you all to watch it, man. That was a masterclass in finishing. I did the watch-along yesterday. Of course, Jose Mourinho back at Real Madrid. Got to cover the games, but Mbappe's finishing, man. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Different types of finishes, too. He's got the side foot, he's got the dink, and he can absolutely thump it. He does look like a man possessed. And the interesting thing is, Kylian Mbappe scored a hat-trick and Jose Mourinho kept him on for the full 90. That was absolutely wild. It's almost... Oh, that's a foul on Estevao. Hacking challenge there. It's Callum Marshall. Centre forward's challenge on Estevao's shin. Yeah, pretty needless there. Not going anywhere, really. He's trying to just check his run. Marshall trying to just put his foot in, trying to stop the young Brazilian. That's a terrible challenge. Kicks him through the shin guard. Sore one for Estevao, but back onto his feet. Estevao and Baco. Brazil and Argentina, both similar-ish height. The Irish goalkeeper, Josh Keeley, is trying to man his wall here, but he might be ultimately powerless to stop either the Cole Palmer or the Reece James free kick here. Reece has started to score a lot more free kicks. Cole's last one was against Brighton 2 seasons ago, when Maresca's first. That was at the Bridge. Reece has scored a lot more recently. It's a change of angle and Reece James. Oh, what a save by Keeley. Diving save, flying onto his left-hand side. Reece James really does pack a punch. Woo! He took Vinny off and the Brazilian didn't kick off about it yet. You saw Jose Mourinho's reaction, right? When he took him off, he was like, listen to them applauding you. It's almost like little psychological moves, you know. But Vinny was having a shocking game. He did end up getting a goal and an assist. But if you look at his overall game, it was lacking. But Real Madrid don't really care how they play, man. They're all about efficiency and winning games and ultimately looking to win titles. Here's Lacroix. Malo Gusto on the right-hand side. Decent ball in. Slightly overhit. Corner for Chelsea. It's a great save though, Gotham. The Reece James free kick. Cole Palmer just changing the angle for Reece. Bit of bend and a lot of power. Interesting free kick routines. Again, the set piece coach is very much earning his money because Chelsea are doing a lot of different things with set pieces that didn't quite see last season. Rodgers takes another short corner, change of angle. Rodgers' passing has not been at his best so far, but it's a chance for Luton to counter. But again, Chelsea so pacey at the back. Chavaria gets there comfortably. Here's Rodgers. Great switch out there. Beautifully done. Love to see that. Malo Gusto. Cole. Cole has pretty much got the freedom of the park. Play wherever he wants. Clever ball in. He's trying to look for Morgan Rodgers there. You see, those two just keep trying to find each other. That's the kind of bromance you want to see on the pitch. But again, with Joao Pedro, Cole Palmer, and Morgan Rodgers, that is frightening, tasty front three. Another channel pass. Chavaria is quick again. Penders deals with it nicely. Again, similar patterns to what Fulham were trying to do against Chelsea. Hit those long diagonals. Chelsea do commit bodies forward. We are occasionally thin at the back. It might just end up leaving 2v2 there on those occasions. Almost like Lacroix and Achumpong just forced to deal with the two attackers that are attacking. There's taxiing on a centre half. All you need is a forward to get the better of you once. Clever pass by Barco. Again, he weighs it perfectly, man, but Rogers can't get there. I like this cameo by Valentin Barco so far. Oh, something wrong with Rogers? Might have gotten a stamp, but he is hobbling. Wasn't too happy to see Rogers and Palmer start, to be honest. The last thing we want is any sort of knock or niggle, because we've got Brighton at home and then Arsenal away. Already we're sweating on the fitness of Moises Caicedo. Palestra looks like he's going to be only fit after the first international break. Again, I'm speculating because Xabi didn't seem very confident that Marco was probably going to make the Arsenal game, but certainly out of the Brighton game, Moy is a maybe. At this stage of the season, if he's a maybe, do not take a risk, man. Absolutely not. It is not worth it. Have him on the bench if necessary. And if things are really going south, give him 15 minutes. Even that, I feel, is a bit reckless. But considering Moy's usage, man, Chelsea have not used Moy wisely in the last 3 seasons. Just been 90 minutes, week in, week out. It does not matter which game it is. I remember Liam Rossignol playing Moy. Was that 90 minutes against something in the Champions League? It was so unnecessary. I mean, would be nice if Moy gets a bit of time off because of rest rather than injury. Here's Lacroix. Lacroix's passing has been decent so far. Yes, not under pressure, but I like to see him wrap those pacey passes to the wide men. Here's Achimpong. Esteval. Frenchman Lacroix finds Morgan Rogers. Ken Barco picking up such advanced positions. Morgan Rogers trying to dribble his way out of a tight corner. Again, I don't think the left wing is Morgan Rogers' best position. He needs to always operate in those half spaces. Morgan Rogers is shooting, man. That's what we need him for. Shoot. Man who scored 10 goals in the Premier League last season. Scored against you guys, didn't he, Gautam? Those two beautiful curlers at Villa Park. Here's Palmer. Brilliant pass again. Chelsea breaking the lines very nicely with the passing. And Luton are not able to breathe here. Chelsea have got them in a stranglehold. Past the halfway stage of the first half, Cole Palmer did have a couple of shots. Reece James' free kick was very well saved by Josh Keeley. There's Pep Chavaria. Valentin Barco, another stamp. I see what the Luton players are trying to do here. Nothing too obvious, but just trying to have that occasional stamp. Trying to slow down the Chelsea players. Here's Rogers. Again in the half space with Chavaria holding the width on that left-hand side. James. Gusto. Esteval. Esteval again. Oh, not the best decision. Might get a corner from it. And we do. It's not that who doesn't score against you, Gautam. It was the quality of his goals that I meant. The curlers. Again, if he scored a tap-in, I wouldn't be bringing it up. It was both goals were curlers, I remember, from that left-hand side. Casey Palmer, the number 45, Jamaican for Luton Town, trying to keep a close watch on Josh Achimpong. Towers over him. Esteval's corner is piss poor. Saw this in pre-season as well. Not something that we should be continuing with because Esteval's corners have not improved. Here's Cole. Finds the Brazilian. Now Esteval. He's got 2 defenders to contend against. Esteval. Palmer in the half space. Palmer's cross is very much overhead, but Lacroix at the back stick just peeled away. He was free. You're going to just nod that back into the danger area. Just gets it wrong slightly, but again, Cole Palmer just dictating from deep. This is one way of breaking down a low block. That's why you need as many creative passes as possible, because Rogers is not one of them. We have seen Moy play those lovely clip passes, but yeah, Cole Palmer's importance in that department cannot be understated. Reece James is another one in midfield who can ping those passes from the half spaces. Here's Palmer. Casey Palmer gets away from Morgan Rogers just trying to wrap that pass towards Marshall. Very good pass by Lacroix again to James. Now Estevao. He's got Cole in front of him. Cole Palmer now. Perfectly weighted pass to Cole Palmer. Thought about the shot. Having to check. Here's Achimpong. Mr. Manny MIA again. I'll hold him to court, mate. Don't worry about it. Some of his behavior unacceptable. Mr. Manny, if you're watching, folks are not happy. Probably join in the second half. That's Malo Gusto with a push at the back. Joseph Johnson has been worked. You can see the Luton players. Deep breaths already. They've been made to work here by Xabi Alonso's Chelsea. Here's Casey Palmer. Great turn there by the Jamaican. Tries to open up the pass. Lovely bit of play, but Josh Achimpong, brilliant. Excellent sliding challenge. I watch more Chelsea games than him. Maybe you are the real fan, Gautam. Masquerading as a Manchester United one. This season, well, last season, if you're watching Chelsea games, I would question. This season, Chelsea are exciting to watch. So much changes keep happening, but we're never going to be the ones that get carried away. Chavaria on the left-hand side. He gets bundled down, but not unfairly according to the ref. Well, not bad from Luton's point of view. Chelsea with a strong enough lineup to really blow away the League One side, but they're holding firm. Chavaria wanted a pen. He's never going to get it. He's going to have to get used to the rough and tumble of the Premier League. This is a League One opposition, but there's going to be a time where he's going to be starting on that left-hand side. Again, Josh, brilliant, man. His anticipation is excellent. His line break was brilliant. Danny Welbeck to Morgan Rogers. Can he get a shot away? Again, he delays. Shoot quicker, man. If I had to masquerade, I'd pick two good teams. We're here to suffer. Suffer indeed. Suffering sides alight. We are here, man. The Mud Brothers, as they call it. Hopefully, Chelsea can extricate ourselves from Manchester United this season. Great turn there by Estevao. And now the ball into the box. It's Barco on the volley. Corner for Chelsea. Oh, it's not a corner. Will stay in play. Barco doesn't catch it clean, but does make the run towards the far stick. A goal would be nice because I don't want to see Cole Palmer and Morgan Rogers in the second half. Got Brighton at home, so rather Xabi Alonso bring on Kenda and maybe Gittins. That'll be fine. Estevao can play number 10. Here's Chavaria, right-footed ball again. Not something you should be doing there. Hand of apology immediately there by Pep Chavaria. The Luton fans not having to make too much of a journey. The London derby between Luton and Chelsea was quite entertaining to watch. Again, it's going to take a bit of time to adjust my eyes and see Jack Wilshere on the managerial bench. What a baller, man. I mean, it's safe to admit now, after all these years, but we're in the throes of the Chelsea versus Arsenal battles back in the day. It's a bit of hate watch there with Jack Wilshere, but man, oh man, you talk about generational midfielders. Yeah. That performance against Barcelona, that was not normal, guys. And don't let anybody ever tell you or normalize that game. He was up against the best Barcelona, the best midfield, period. And he absolutely bossed it. Well, Luton could surprise Chelsea here. Good challenge by Gusto. Estevao working hard to make sure that there was enough cover there defensively. Emilio Lawrence on that left-hand side trying to create problems for Chelsea, but Chelsea do manage. Barco is a lovely little player, man. Why does he have to play for you guys? Says Gautam. Well, I mean, once he played for Brighton, you can pretty much see him at Chelsea one day, but he's a nice player, man. He can also play on that left-hand side, left back, left wing back, and also slot into midfield. Very intelligent player. He's got that zip, line breaker, and he's a tenacious player. He's not like a built player, very diminutive, but helps with the center of gravity. Who's this other defender you've signed? Any scouting tips, Honest Anahor? Well, you got that name right, and I have nothing yet. It's a 40 million deal, if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, gonna have to do a bit more scouting on him. Whether or not, I don't see him being drafted into the Chelsea squad yet. Might go on a loan, but Chelsea have 5 centre halves. We've got Wesley Fofana, Levi Colville, Maxence Lacroix, Josh Acheampong, and Wesley Fofana. That's 5. But we are playing a back 3. You can also add Reece James as one of the right centre half option. We do have Jarell Hato too. I almost view him as a left back, but he's going to have to probably slot in as left-sided centre half on a few occasions. I think Amadou Sarr is still there. Chelsea are possibly looking to find solutions for the Senegalese centre half. I mean, that was the most pointless buyback from Chelsea, man. He was doing so well at Strasbourg. I mean, the same thing could be said about Liam Rossinier, right? But there was absolutely no need, man. Rossinier started him against Arsenal. He looked so shaky. And from there, he just never kicked on. A real shame. And I think he needs a place where he can get regular game time. Here's Lacroix. And Bako. Well, Bako picking up the left back area allows Pep Chavaria to venture forward. Decent bit of play there. Gideon Kodua and Valentin Bako with another interception. Pender showing good first touch, yet to be troubled yet. Saw at Strasbourg, his starting position at times was almost like an auxiliary centre half, Mike Pender's. I don't think we're going to be seeing that under Xabi Alonso for sure. Here's Cole. Finds Reece James onto the right-hand side to Estevao Willian. Estevao drops the shoulder. Estevao again. Now Pep Chavaria does the right thing of recycling. Acheampong, James, back to Acheampong. Both common players trading passes. Chavaria, Rogers, Pep Chavaria again. Estevao did make the run. Reece James with the pop from distance, and that's a foul by Reece. Reece had no interest in chasing back there. Very smart Manchester City, Pep Guardiola-like foul there by the Chelsea skipper. You have that Aaron Anselmino fellow too. Yeah, we do, but he picked up that injury against, who was that in pre-season? Was it Juventus or AC Milan? One of the two games where he kind of rolled his, oh no, it was that game against JDT, I think, in Malaysia. I remember that turf being questioned at that occasion, but yeah, we haven't seen him since. I'm pretty sure we're going to loan him out. It was at Dortmund to start off last season. It looked like Dortmund were going to buy him. Chelsea were in no mood to sell at that point. They pulled him out immediately and sent him to Strasbourg before he built any sort of connection. That's not a good pass, but Bako's first touch nearly makes it one. Chavaria trying to nip in there. Not good defending by the Spaniard there. Kodua just eases him out the way. Chavaria will be almost thinking at 100 miles an hour here. He want to make an impact for his new club. 28 years of age. Uncapped player. When a player has spent a lot of time in his home country, not making a move to Europe or one of the top clubs in his country, almost feel like he's almost resigned to a career in La Liga for teams below 10th position. But getting a move to Chelsea, I mean, again, can't guarantee anything in this league. We've seen top players flop as well. But someone like Andrew Robertson, I mean, not the quality that I'm expecting, but if he can be molded into that ilk, someone who just works tremendously hard, that up and down the touchline, tenacity, attitude, application, a lot of the intangibles. And of course, we need to see some football too, because let's not forget, we are building a team full of ballers here. If you can't hang, you will be left out pretty quickly, man. You look at the likes of Josh Acheampong, Maxence Lacroix can pass, touch, and get the movements along. About 9 minutes left in the first half. Luton Town will absolutely take this result so far. Luton are gash, but not bad to survive this far. Yeah, not bad, man. And they can easily pinch a goal too. You never know. And once again, I'd like to thank everybody tuning in to Under the Sun, guys. It really does mean so much to me. You guys tuning in for a midweek watch along. I don't know if you guys were there for the Real Madrid game. Not talking about you, Gautam, but the rest watching. Do tune in for regular watch alongs. Oh, Penders does well enough to punch. He might get a bit of protection. He doesn't. And whoa, Luton nearly get the opening goal. Chelsea do block. Cross comes in. Penders with a good grab. This time, surely a foul. Mike Penders is like, any protection, ref? Not even a bit? Yeah, that's not a foul on Penders, man. He just needs to be stronger. He just collapses like a ton of bricks. The gather was much better. When he's just trying to palm that away, that was a bit of weak goalkeeping there by Mike Penders. Chavaria. Valentin Bako. Josh Achumpong. Cole Palmer. Again, the game is in the balance. And that's why I think Cole off the bench should have been sufficient, man. Him and Morgan Rogers off the bench in case things were going wrong. Now, if it's 0-0 at half-time, Xabi Alonso, I don't think he'll be taking them off. So you'll end up playing nearly 60 minutes while 30 might have been sufficient. I'm sure Xabi Alonso just wants to get that rhythm going with his two main number 10s. Here's Lacroix. Yeah, too many starters, Karan. As soon as I saw that, 5 starters, it was way too much. I was expecting 2 at least because I know at the back we are thin because Wesley Fofana is still not available. So I expected 2 or the 3 that started against Fulham to start here today, but that was it. I thought Dario Sugo would be in midfield. That's a clever pass by Bako to Estevao. Well, wide in the end. What a pass by Valentin Bako, who's having an excellent game on Chelsea debut. Threads it through the eye of the needle. Valentin Bako is looking like a player here, man. Great pass. Estevao should bury that one. Fofana starting on Sunday is the wrong decision, Karan. It has to be Josh Achumpong. I know that it's going to be Fofana, but it would be the wrong decision. Yeah, Barco's bossing it on debut. He's looked superb, man. Yes, it's League One opposition when we take everything into consideration, but just the general eye test, you know? The passing, the way he receives the ball. His ability to find clever through pass. I think he was one of the most progressive passers in the top 5 leagues of Europe last season. I think he would. I don't want him anywhere near the club if you ask me. Same thing like Rob Sanchez, man. I mean, it's been what? Fofana was one of our first window signings under the new ownership, right? Chelsea ended up spending, 72 million quid on him, took him to New York for a medical, and then he was just injured for 2 years. Last season was the only one where he was fit, and yeah, like I said, the thing with Wesley Fofana is his recovery pace, man. It allows Chelsea to play a ridiculous high line, but he's got deficiencies, man. Way too many. He's an excellent defender, but there are far too many deficiencies. Malo Gusto, that's handball. Just a ricochet. Play continues though. Gusto with a cross in. Danny Welbeck trying to make something of it. And Chavaria with the strike. Corner for Chelsea. Yeah, but Karan, again, we have to make our peace with Wesley Fofana. He's going nowhere. Not on the wages he's on. He was before Chelsea got that wage structure in place. Wesley's one of the top paid players at the club, man. I think it's Reece James and then Wesley Fofana. That is not right. That is absolutely not right. I think it's Wesley Fofana, then Reece James. I think Reece is on 250 and Wes is on 270. When you have players on that kind of wages, impossible to move them on. Unless he goes back to Marseille and Chelsea decide to split his wages. He has Lacroix. We saw Lacroix on the right-hand side against Fulham for the Morgan Rogers goal. Finding himself again on that other side. West signed a 7-year deal. He's going to be here till 2030. 2023 to 2030. Yeah, nobody's buying him. Maybe Chelsea might offload him in his final year of the contract where somebody might get him at a cut price deal. But nah, I've made my peace. But see, there's an option. I mean, opportunity really for managers to not pick him, but they keep picking him. It's because of that pace, man. 1v1 defending with the pace. Better corner. Achimpong recycles and nobody really attacking the front post. Josh has every reason to question why nobody's really making that front post run. Josh has hardly put a foot wrong in this first half. Chelsea started really well, but Luton have kind of grown into the game defensively. A couple of occasions have crossed the Chelsea half, this being another one. Here into midfield is Walsh. Walsh will look to switch it. Beautifully done. Lovely pass. Here's Lawrence. Goes on the outside. Oh, it's Benedict Benager, actually. I thought he was a midfielder. What's he doing on that left-hand side? Big Ben finding himself at left wing. Good turn away there from Cole Palmer, and that's a foul by Cole. Needless free kick, really. And Luton have an opportunity to load up the box here. Clever turn there by Joseph Johnson. Gets away from Palmer. Palmer too eager to try and get back. I don't think Cole Palmer thought that was a foul, but it will continue as a free kick here for Luton Town. 2 minutes plus added on time remaining in this first half. So far, Chelsea's decision to have 5 starters from Monday night, all expected to start on Sunday, and that decision has not paid off yet. We were expecting Chelsea to go a couple goals up, at least by half-time. That has not been the case. The game still very much in the balance. Here's Liam Walsh with the free kick. It's a decent ball. The header is on target. Defenders with a comfortable gather, but better there from Luton. A shot on target will give them a bit of confidence. Hakeem Odofin, English centre half, getting away from Pep Chavaria. Barco finds Reece James. Now Palmer in the half space. It's got Esteval holding the width. Brazilian drifts in field. Malo Gusto. Should be Malo actually holding the width. And that's a brilliant pass by Cole Palmer. Esteval with the cutback. Morgan Rogers against the crossbar. Oh, Luton get lucky there. Magnificent football there from the Chelsea front three again. Rogers doing exactly what we need him to do. Attack the box and use his finishing skills. Very, very close. That opening goal. And Palmer's had a couple of attempts. Reece with the free kick. Now, Morgan Rogers crashing one against the crossbar. Palmer's pass is short and Achimpong is just too quick, man. He just eats up the ground. Fantastic. Here's Barco. First half man of the match for Chelsea? I think I would say so. He's really impressed. I've liked the look of him. And he doesn't have that presence in midfield in terms of strength and power, but intelligence on the football pitch beats everything else. Esteval trying to attempt a mazy dribble there, out for a goal kick. How did that ball not go into the back of the net, man? Great bit of play this from Chelsea. Palmer's pass is weighted to perfection here. Esteval with a one-touch shout. How does he see Morgan Rogers there and find him accurately? Rogers on his favoured right foot on the volley. And he does the right thing. He just applies the side foot because there's enough pace on the cross. Crossbar bails Luton out. We've come close, Karan. We have come close. Never really very straightforward with Chelsea, is it? Oh, that's a foul by Barco. No? Referee says play on. Looked like a high boot that caught him on the chest. Barco does really well. That's a foul on Barco. But referee waves play on. Great feat by Morgan Rogers. Clever pass to Pep Chavaria on the left-hand side here. Chavaria with the cutback. It's Cole Palmer. Oh, how close is that? Palmer with a wry smile on his face. I think the save by Josh Keeley has been made. Supreme footwork this from Morgan Rogers. Is gliding past a couple of defenders and then finding the reverse. Chavaria does the right thing. Fires that at Cole Palmer. One touch out of his feet. Good block there by Hakeem Odofin in the end. They passed the 1 minute mark. Surely the last action before the halftime whistle. James's corner. Decent. Cleared away, and the referee does blow the halftime whistle at the bridge. And the League One side, Luton Town, who have absorbed a lot of pressure and a few opportunities, glaring opportunities that Chelsea have had. But it is halftime, and it is 0-0, which is a massive result for Jack Wilshere's side. Can they hold on for a bit more in that second 45 minutes? So far, Xabi Alonso's decision to start 5 of his main starters, I don't want to say has backfired, because Chelsea don't really have a threat of Luton scoring yet, but would have been nice to see Cole and Morgan Rogers getting only 45 minutes. It looks like they're going to get another 15. I am sure Xabi Alonso will tell them, just pick up that tempo for the next 10 and 15 minutes, grab a couple of goals, and then we can worry about the weekend game. But until then, we're going to have to play at full clip, full intensity. How many chances are we going to make? Which is a good question to ask, Gotham. We have wasted a lot of chances. 15 shots, 4 on target. But yeah, Chelsea need to tighten up. The Luton dagger, it's not going to hurt. It will sting. It'll absolutely sting if that's the case. Chelsea getting knocked out in the second round of the Carabao Cup. That'll be mimicking Manchester United, isn't it? Getting knocked out in the first round of the Carabao Cup. Was it Grimsby last season? Yeah. Ruben Amram with the tactics board. I remember that. That game was a pretty dark game. A dark night, really, for Manchester United fans, hitting a new low. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I will be back for the second half. Give me a soft 5 to 7 minutes and I will be back. We'll discuss as to what Chelsea can bring on in terms of changes. There's enough firepower on the bench too. Chelsea don't have to go gung-ho here. We can get through Luton, I'm sure, with the quality that we have, not just on the pitch, but also on the bench. Will Emmanuel Emega see him get minutes here? Let me just have a look at the Chelsea bench before I head. Now, Chelsea have a strong enough team here. We do have Joao Pedro on the bench. We have Gittins, Kenda. Kenda's on the bench too? No, Giovanni Kenda not in the squad at all. But yeah, Emega is there. JP is there as well. Gittins can come off the bench. We got Romeo Lavia in midfield. Reggie Walsh, the Cobham midfielder, really impressed in pre-season. Hoping that some of them could have gotten minutes. But the way that Chelsea have gone with a strong enough lineup against Luton Town, almost felt like if Chelsea didn't play with the strongest side, maybe Chelsea could have been a goal down. Anyways, half-time, 0-0. I will be back for second half action. Well, we're a few minutes away from the start of the second half. 0-0 at the Bridge after Chelsea going with a strong enough starting 11 here. 5 starters from the Monday night game against Fulham. 0-0 against Luton have done well to keep the Chelsea players at bay. Chelsea did play some very good football in that first half, but we couldn't find the back of the net. Cole Palmer having an attempt. We saw the Reece James free kick, and of course Morgan Rogers having an attempt thump off the crossbar. Other than that, Chelsea will need to do a bit more really to trouble the Luton defense. So far have held their shape well. Jack Wilshere's side, they were one loss in 20 games? They are very difficult to beat, and we're seeing that very much materialize in this first half. But we did have the Champions League draw today. Let's quickly go through what we did see in terms of the big fixtures. Let's just quickly have a look in terms of some real standout fixture. Paris Saint-Germain, they've got Barcelona at home, Galatasaray at home, and away they've got Manchester City, Aston Villa, Villarreal, and Como. That is pretty tough 8 games for the two-time back-to-back champions. Bayern Munchen have got Arsenal at home, Betis, Slavia Praha. Away from home, they've got Atletico Madrid, Manchester United, Lille, and Viking. Real Madrid have got Inter, PSV, Leipzig, and Lask at home. Away from home, they play Arsenal, Roma, Athens, and Shakhtar Donetsk at the Bridge. Shakhtar will play all their home games at Stamford Bridge this season, which means that Jose Mourinho will return to the Bridge, man. Wow, absolutely brilliant. Expect that game to be a sellout. Liverpool got Atletico Madrid, Porto, Villarreal, and Lens at home. Inter, Club Brugge, Fenerbahce, and Lask away. Inter have got Liverpool, Club Brugge, Shakhtar, and Stuttgart. Real Madrid, Dortmund, Feyenoord, and Bratislava away. Manchester City, Paris Saint-Germain, Sporting, Napoli, and Athens at home. Barcelona, Porto, Leipzig, and Lens away. Arsenal have got Real Madrid at home. Borussia Dortmund, Lille, and Sabah at home, with Bayern Munich, Real Betis, Napoli, and Slavia Praha away from home. So yeah, a lot of good fixtures, man. Barcelona have Manchester City, Aston Villa, Feyenoord, and Como at home, and they play Paris Saint-Germain, Sporting, Galatasaray, and Sabah away from home. I mean, Sabah have got the worst fixtures, man. Absolute worst fixtures. It seems that every game they play is against the big boys. So good luck to them and how they try and navigate a very tough Champions League group stage. But exciting for their fans, man, where they get to see all the big guns playing against their little old team. The second half action is a few minutes away. Again, I don't see Cole Palmer and Morgan Rogers staying for another 15 minutes tops. Has to be the target. Anything more would be absolutely foolish, really. We should not be prioritizing this game ahead of that Brighton game at home, man. That is always so tricky, and Brighton will be full of confidence after putting 4 past Aston Villa unanswered. So Chelsea playing a tricky game here. Again, I would have liked to see Cole and Morgan come off the bench if needed, but instead they start. It's 0-0, so Xabi Alonso will have to manage their minutes carefully. We've got Joao Pedro, Emmanuel Omega, Jimmy Gittins, Romeo Lavia, Reggie Walsh, all on the bench. There's enough there to beat Luton. It's got to be in 90 minutes, though. Yeah, we got to score ASAP, Karan. Absolutely right. There have been enough encouragement, enough chances that we have created. It's all about putting the ball in the back of the net. Josh Keeley has been strong enough between the sticks. That double save of Cole Palmer, the Reece James free kick, which was very well punched away. Not quite in the corner, but hit with enough venom. In the first half, I thought Valentin Barco for Chelsea looked excellent. Palmer, Morgan Rogers having their moments. Lacroix and Achimpong superb at the back. Pep Chavaria showcasing his tenacity on that left-hand side. I think Malo Gusto had a bit of a forgetful game, and same could be said about Danny Welbeck. Well, Jake Richards is on for Luton as we're all set for the start of the second half here at the Bridge. The Carabao Cup second half action in the second round coming to you live from the Bridge. And we're off and running. 45 minutes remain for Chelsea to put Luton Town away. The League One side giving Chelsea a strong enough test here. It's been mostly defense versus attack. Kodua has come off for Richards. I think it's going to be like for like really on that right hand side. Bako with the challenge. Last touch of Bako. Corner for Luton. On the away side that have travelled to the Bridge, certainly getting their money's worth so far. They're seeing their side give Chelsea a tough enough task as Callum Marshall, the number 9, is trying to prowl around the far stick. Liam Walsh will take this corner kick from the far side. Chelsea's corners were lacking. Luton feel that this is their best route to goal here. Casey Palmer, number 45, Jamaican number 10 out there as a short corner routine does not work, but it falls kindly on the right-hand side. Harrison Ashby finds Walsh. Walsh with the right-footed ball in. Brilliant ball. Wow. Palmer, Casey Palmer that is, trying to get his head on it. Great ball there by Liam Walsh. Nobody really closing down the number 8. Poor work there from Chavaria. Has to get touch tight. Follows the runner instead of Walsh on the ball. Slightly nervy stuff this for Chelsea, but again, there's enough quality there to not really trouble us. Here's Bako. Finds Pep Chavaria. Well, that's 4 of our summer signings, isn't it? Morgan Rogers, Valentin Bako, Pep Chavaria, and Danny Welbeck starting. Jordan Henderson still suffering. Bako trying that audacious switch out. Chelsea just need to calm down here. Short, crisp passes, move forward as a team. Just get that first goal and just calm the players and the fans down. Quick look at the Chelsea bench. Jarell Hato, Jamie Gittins, Pedro Neto, Aaron Alsamino, Reggie Watson, son of Ben Watson, ex-Wigan player who scored in the FA Cup final in 2012, 2013. And Roberto Martinez's side shocked the world by winning the FA Cup and then, of course, getting relegated in the very same season. Gusto does well enough. Need to see a bit more from Malo Gusto on the right-hand side. He's playing in this preferred right-back spot after a long, long time, really. Here's Lacroix. Chelsea trying to get a move on here. Here's James. Now Palmer. 3 minutes into the second half. I think it was 3 minutes into the second half where he did end up scoring at Craven Cottage. Joao Pedro's clever little reverse pass for Cole Palmer between the legs of Bern Leno. That was a very exciting game. One for the neutrals, really. Best game of match week 1 probably in the Premier League? I would say so. Here's Bako with the switch to Palmer. Here's Cole. Floats it towards the far stick. Good header there. They want a corner. I don't think we're going to get it. Morgan Rogers is trying to crash it home as Harrison Ashby defends well. That first goal, guys, still elusive. It's not arrived yet. Here's Josh Keeley. Marshall's header and Achimpong nips in and his pass is slightly overhit, but Luton cannot capitalize. Malo Gusto, that's a risky pass to James. Does end up finding Mike Penders. Penders will have to be comfortable being number 2 here after Chelsea completed a deal for Aston Villa's Emiliano Martinez, 7.5 million quid. World Cup winner. Europa League winner too with Aston Villa. Here's Gusto's cross in. Brilliant for Danny Welbeck. And we do have the first goal. It is a proper centre-forward goal as Danny Welbeck opens his Chelsea account. brilliant cross by Malo Gusto, and Danny Welbeck's thumping header gives Chelsea the lead. Well, that is more like it. Great to see the debutants for Chelsea getting off the mark as quickly as possible. We saw Morgan Rogers get the goal, Lacroix getting an assist against Fulham, and now Danny Welbeck with a proper centre-forward goal, man. Great switch out there by Chavaria. Estevao just feeds it to Malo Gusto. There's enough pace on the ball. The cross is just perfect, man. Right onto the dome of Danny Welbeck, who leaps the highest, and that's a proper goal. Well, Karan, I guess they heard this. We wanted them to score ASAP, and 5 minutes into the second half, Chelsea do have the lead. Welcome to the bridge, Danny Welbeck. He's a player I always liked. There's always something about him. I'm not going to say always liked. Let's say at Manchester United and Arsenal, I probably did ridicule him as much, but once he moved to Brighton, man, oh man, something unlocked, something changed. Typical Webb's goal indeed. Exactly, just feed the man and he'll score. Well, Gautam, you're saying game over already, but I do like the Webb's salute. Respect to the Premier League champion. He still is that guy, man. 12 goals last season in the Premier League. That's more than Benjamin Šeško, mind you. Not just Šeško. I think that was... He's got more goals than Ekitike, Isak. Can put a lot more strikers to it. Casey Palmer drives forward. Now onto the left-hand side. Decent bit of play here. Emilio Lawrence. Good block there by Malo Gusto. Reese. Danny Welbeck. Morgan Rogers. Estevao. Beautiful football this from Chelsea. Now on the counter-attack. Estevao Willian has fed Cole Palmer. He's through on goal here. Cole Palmer checks his run. And now the Luton defenders swarm back into position. Palmer on the outside. Brilliant. Palmer with the cutback. Corner for Chelsea. I was just thinking we should get Neto on the right. His crosses would be useful for Welbeck, and Gusto did it though. But because with Chelsea are playing with a back four, I don't want to see Pedro Neto as a right winger, and he's not going to be playing right back either. So if Chelsea are going to revert to a back three, and if there's a wing back spot open, yeah, Pedro Neto by all means. But no more winger shifts for Pedro Neto, man. Those days should be long gone. Oh, Reese leaves it short, but Estevao tries to nip in. If Chelsea get the second here, the game would be wrapped up. And more importantly, Cole Palmer and Morgan Rogers might get a bit of a rest. Austin McPhee making his presence very much known on the Chelsea bench. It's a great goal, though. A lot of intricate stuff that Chelsea attempted in the first half did not work. Very simple bit of play this in the end. Switch out from the left onto the right. Gusto's cross. First time ball in, that too. Just love first time crosses, man. The defense is never set, and that's how you're supposed to cross. Once you take that touch or just put your studs on top of it, you're letting the defenders get back into position, play it first time, and then panic will ensure. Here's Hakeem Odofin. Pep Chavaria does well. So does Morgan Rogers. Barco protects the ball brilliantly. Finds James. Now Malo Gusto. Lacroix loves the ball retention there from the Chelsea defenders. Here's Estevao Willian. His pass intercepted, but Gusto jumps out of the challenge. And he gets done easily by Casey Palmer. Here's the Jamaican. Almost has a Semenyo-like running style, doesn't he? The way that he just uses his powerful upper body to just lean past players and then just explode and burst through. Here's Palmer now. On the right-hand side, he's got Welbeck and Estevao. Palmer on the outside, clips it in perfectly. Oh, what a ball, man. Morgan Rogers was attacking the far stake. The Englishman does foul the defender in the end, but brilliant clip pass there by Cole Palmer. And that's one way of opening up the low block, but it's all from Luton's own doing there. They just give the ball away. Palmer with some elite wing play on his right foot. Brilliant ball in, really. Palmer and Callum Marshall trying to lead that two-step here for Luton, as they will need a goal now, but they try and keep it tight for the next 15 or 20 minutes. Then try and just plug in for that equalizer. They'll have to play the long game, but there is a risk in doing so because Chelsea could very easily score the second and kill the game off. Here's Palmer. Finds Walsh. Back to Palmer. Now Hakeem Odafin. 10 minutes into the second half, and the Danny Welbeck goal, which gave Chelsea the lead. Oh, good interception there by Josh Acheampong. And it's a brilliant pass. Even better touch and turn there by Estevao Willian. Release the ball, Estevao. He gets the foul, but just slip Palmer there, man. It's going to be a yellow card for the Luton player, but a bit disappointed that Estevao Willian, who did so well with that touch and turn. Not an easy ball there by Josh Acheampong, but Estevao does everything right. Now could he just release it? But Johnson immediately brings him down. Yellow card there for Joseph Johnson, the left back for Luton. Free kick for Chelsea, which we've taken it short. Here's James. Acheampong to Valentin Bako. Now Maxence Lacroix. Morgan Rogers being doubled on that left-hand side. Bako again. Chavaria. Morgan Rogers, good rotations this from Chelsea. Bako. Chavaria. Bako again. Maxence Lacroix. Good line breaker. Oh, Palmer nearly turns with it. And now Walsh can lead the Luton counter-attack. It's not the best of passes there by Liam Walsh, who's had a good game in midfield. Now Casey Palmer finds George Johnston. Slaps that pass onto the left-hand side. Benedict Benager now running down the left. Good bit of pace shown, but Malo Gusto, excellent 1v1 defending. Here's Acheampong. Any other highlight fixtures of the weekend? I know Chelsea Brighton is the big one. Spurs Newcastle, that's happening too, right? If I'm not mistaken. That's going to be a good game. That's on Saturday night. Here's Bako. Manchester United, of course, have got Ipswich. Arsenal playing the standout fixture. They've got Aston Villa at Villa Park. Arsenal beating Coventry 3-0, while Aston Villa lost 4-0 to Brighton in what was the head-scratching scoreline of match week 1, despite all the upsets. Manchester United getting beaten 2-0 by Hull City. Brentford putting 3 past Spurs. Acheampong to Bako. Now Lacroix. Back to the Argentine. Speaking of Argentine, looks like Enzo Fernandez is heading towards the exit. Manchester City will end up paying in excess of £100 million. Now the final figure, we'll have to see how Chelsea and Manchester City end up settling that. But do I wish good luck to Enzo? I like Enzo Fernandez, man. It's a shame we're going to have to root against him, but that's the business. Estevao's ball in. Very much overhit there. We're approaching the 60-minute mark. It's still 1-0 with the game in the balance. What does Xabi Alonso do here? He'll want the likes of Estevao and Danny Welbeck to get 90 minutes. But Reece James needs to be taken off as well. I mean, we've been talking about Cole and Morgan Rogers, but Reece needs to come off as well. Xabi Alonso yet to get the subs warming up, but I think it's just a matter of time before that happens. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody tuning in live on Under the Sun midweek fixtures, and you all tuning in live means the world to me, man. Watch and see, so beat the pants off as well. I will be watching, and Welbeck with the strike drags it wide. Cole Palmer with a clever pass. Danny Welbeck looking for his brace. I don't think Ipswich have enough to beat you, especially at Old Trafford. I think United will get the job done. It's much better there from Chelsea. Acheampong to Cole to Danny Welbeck. Chelsea have played some cracking football. I mean, yes, it's against League One opposition, but the football's been good. Ooh, Lacroix trying to tower over the centre forward. No foul by the ref. I think Callum Marshall just stood his ground on Lacroix. Every right to jump over him. The second goal would be nice. I know we're being greedy, but that's unfortunately the remit here in this tricky second round Carabao Cup game. Here's Esteval Willian. Cole Palmer. Gusto again. Could cross it. Gusto does cross it. Well blocked. The interception was Hakeem Odofin was good. And now Luton on the counter-attack. Here's Casey Palmer. He's been swarmed by 4 Chelsea players. Morgan Rogers, brilliant man. Supreme effort from the £117 million man. Now Cole gets away from Marshall with ease. Palmer, again, freedom of the park here. Can go wherever he wants. Finds Morgan Rogers between the lines. Esteval carries the attack going here. Here's Esteval Willian. Again, his final action has been lacking. Oh, the foul has been given. Esteval has not been at his sharpest here today. He's trying to make things happen. Jack Wilshere preparing another substitution. Xabi Alonso yet to dip into his bench. Oh, I got a quick glimpse of Moises Caicedo there. Good to see him. Though not in the squad, but should we risk him against Brighton? Possibly not. But conversely, if he plays against Arsenal, that would be his first real competitive game. And it's away at the Emirates. So you just kind of have to find that balance with Moy. I mean, he'll be rusty, make no mistake about it. His last game was against Real Sociedad. That was on the 14th of August. It's been 2 weeks since he's seen any sort of action. Luton have made a couple of changes, trying to pull a goal back and make things uncomfortable for the Blues. Johnson will take this throw in. The camera pans to Rob Sanchez, whose Chelsea career looks like it's coming to an end. Xabi Alonso deciding one game was enough. Not just Xabi Alonso, but the entire Chelsea hierarchy deciding that we're trying to build something special here, and we cannot have a goalkeeper chucking it in. Here's Casey Palmer. Gets away from Welbeck. On to the left-hand side. Patience is from Luton. Palmer. Weird bit of play there from Luton, trying to almost take the piss here as George Johnston. Centre half looking for options between the lines. Walsh with Barco pressing. Finds Odofin. Now Johnston. Beautiful pass onto the right-hand side. The ball into the box is well intercepted by Josh Acheampong, who continues to have a monstrous game, but Rees gets beaten in midfield. Now onto the left-hand side. Luton looking for the equaliser, and the shot, trying to just catch Penders at the near post, but much better there from Luton Town. And a quick shift away from Esteval Willian before Gusto could close him down. Substitute just looks to immediately pull the trigger there, Jones. Here's Valentin Barco. Nice pass again. Barco's passing so crisp between the lines. Here's Morgan Rogers. He's looked sharp on that left-hand side. Pep Chavaria. Morgan Rogers continuing his run. Welbeck with the flick to Palmer. Palmer, looking for Esteval. Right idea. Again, love to see the front four combine. Esteval nipping in. Again, the Chelsea press. Very good. Esteval finds Cole. The Chelsea starters are working overtime here. Reece James in the half space. Gusto. Palmer. Palmer with great ball manipulation and a cross that is slightly under hit. It does break for Cole. Palmer just flicks the crossbar. What a strike that is from Cole, man. Wow. That was traveling. It falls kindly to him, but man, oh man, does he strike this sweet. I don't think it might have just clipped the crossbar, but Ken Walsh just caught napping. Does it take a deflection? Yes, it certainly clips the top of the crossbar. Well, Thomas Tuchel, every opportunity he gets, he's at the Bridge, his former home. Watching Cole Palmer, Reece James, Morgan Rogers All these Chelsea players in action. Might even have a look at Josh Acheampong as a potential centre-half for the next series of tournaments for England. Here's Lacroix. Now Pep Chavaria. Barco, quick scan around, finds Gusto. Now Lacroix, Acheampong. Reece James. 25 minutes remain at the bridge here. The only mystery is how's this only 1-0 as Cole Palmer on the right-hand side, dazzling again. Palmer looks like he's back to his best, man. He's just gliding. Here's Reece. Gusto. Onto the right-hand side to Esteval Willian. Esteval looking to play the 1-2. Clever touch there by Esteval Willian. He's just tried to improvise on that occasion. Does nicely there. Stamford Bridge crowd loving a bit of a Joga Bonito touch. And it's just his instincts taking over there. Esteval foul there in midfield. Can yet to see any of the Chelsea substitutes warming up. Xabi Alonso, right on cue, will make 3 changes. Well, Neto, Lavia and Hato are coming on. Reece and Cole will be the guys to be substituted. Are we going to see maybe Lacroix coming off as well? Possibly. And it's a strike from Palmer. Oh, Casey Palmer strikes that really well. You can see from his reaction because Mike Penders does not really react to this one. Fantastic strike. Wow, look at the technique on that one. I think Penders might have just about had it covered, but great strike. Remember Tom Huddleston of Spurs, mid-2000s? I remember ball striking like that from anyone else over the years. The shortest of backlifts. If you know, you know. Check out Tom Huddleston's goals for Spurs. Even when he was at Hull, scored some fantastic goals. Finally, Xabi Alonso does end up making the triple substitution. Jarell Hato, Romeo Lavia and Pedro Neto coming on. It's Morgan Rogers who's coming off. Reece James being another. And who's the third? And Malo Gusto coming off. Interesting. Very interesting. Palmer still on the pitch, which does not make any sense. So is Maxence Lacroix. I think Malo Gusto coming off means that he is going to start at right wing back against Brighton at home. Looks like Neto is playing left wing. It's a clever bit of play. Can he keep it in play there? I don't think he can, Johnson. Good work there from Luton, who have really hung in there, played some decent football. Yeah, they've been strong enough to hold off Chelsea, to only pretty much restrict Chelsea to the 1 goal. Here's Romeo Lavia. Great to see that we can rely on Romeo Lavia at this stage of the season at least. Started against Fulham alongside Reece James in midfield. Now off the bench, could very easily be the Reece and Lavia midfield again against Brighton at home. Chelsea still have to resolve the Enzo Fernandez situation and get his replacement over the line. Here's Neto on the left-hand side with a cutback. Danny Welbeck was the obvious target. Palmer did get a bit of a stamp there on his foot. Here's Hato. That's a foul there by Jarell Hato. Dutchman a bit eager to make an impact since coming on. He had started at left wing back at Craven Cottage. Here's George Johnston. Goes back to his goalkeeper. Josh Keeley would have loved to have a clean sheet here at Stamford Bridge, but just felt inevitable that Chelsea were going to get the goal at some point. Just over 20 minutes remaining at the bridge. Luton have certainly made a fist of things. Chelsea not been at our clinical best. That Danny Welbeck goal, enough to separate the two teams as of now. Here's Neto. Welbeck. Chelsea's front line, Neto, Welbeck, Palmer. That's a weird mix, isn't it? Of course, Estevan Willian holding the width on the right-hand side. Johnson with a good first touch. Achimpong immediately to meet him here. Here's the substitute up against the Chelsea youngster, and Achimpong is just too good. He is too good. In 1v1 situations, the way that he can push up. Again, if we start Wesley Fofana against Brighton, I'm not going to be too happy about it. Yep, as long as we win, it doesn't matter. But Josh Achimpong deserves to start, man. And if you feel like his performance is dipping or he's making mistakes, make the change. But right now, to drop him for Wesley Fofana will make no sense whatsoever, because you're seeing Maxence Lacroix and Josh Achimpong. They've started 2 games back-to-back. You add Levi Colwill to it. That's a bit of a structure solidity in the back line. We need to make those partnerships as quickly as possible and keep it as stable as we can. Chopping and changing at the back is the worst thing that we could possibly do. Here's Hato. Chavarria. Valentin Bako. Find Chavarria again. Here's Pedro Neto. Another player that could be on the move here, but seeing that Xabi Alonso has used him against Fulham and now against Luton shows that there's a good chance that Neto might end up staying. Why the hell are we bringing on JP, man? With just under 20 minutes remaining, Joao Pedro is coming on, and I mean, I understand Xabi Alonso wants to seal this victory, but just 20 minutes for Joao Pedro is not the worst, right? Right? No knocks, please. I mean, yes, it's early in the season and they won't get that rhythm going. Yeah, JP and Cole having the full summer off, you can understand why Xabi Alonso probably wants to just log a few more competitive minutes in them before the task gets a lot tougher. Joao Pedro is coming on. Chelsea's main man will replace the match winner as it stands. Welbeck doing what he's there to do there, scoring with the one big chance that he's had. A typical centre-forward-like header after Malo Gusto's first-time cross in, and Welbeck does the rest. Ex-Manchester United, Arsenal, Brighton, and now Chelsea forward. Well, it's a substitution that we expected to happen in reverse as the games goes on. Joao Pedro leading the line and Danny Welbeck coming off the bench. But in cup games, this is going to be the format. Manuel Omega. Oh, JP has put his bib back on. Thank you, Xabi. Welbeck's off. Joao going to be coming on? Bit of confusion. He was ready to come on. Welbeck straight down the tunnel. Was Welbeck just gone for a piss here because Chelsea are temporarily down to 10. Here's Esteval. Josh Achimpong from right side centre back. Venturing forward. Esteval. Lacroix. Valentin Bako. Now Romeo Lavia. Back to Bako. Love to see Valentin Bako and Moises Caicedo in midfield once in a Premier League game so that we can actually judge them in competitive action. If Enzo Fernandez is leaving, Chelsea will spend big on a midfielder. It looks more and more likely that it's going to be Alex Scott and not Adam Wharton. Either one would have been an acceptable replacement, really. It's basically you don't need to replace Enzo Fernandez's goals, right? Because our front three and players off the bench should take care of that. We need someone who can complement Moises Caicedo. And unfortunately, Enzo and Moy could never really complement each other in a double pivot for Chelsea. Two very good players in their own right, but in a midfield pivot, just never took off. Joao Pedro's bib is off and he's on the pitch. He's got just over 15 minutes of action here to possibly just kill the game off. Once Joao Pedro comes on, you know the opposition defenders will be starting to quake in their boots. The most informed striker in the league takes the field. What's the rule, Karan? What am I missing? Oh, that Danny Welbeck was off for a good couple of minutes before we could make the substitution. Because Welsh took more than 10 seconds, they didn't let him until the break in play. I guess they just want substitutions to happen a lot more quicker. But one thing I saw, Karan, in match week 1 is the stoppage time. Estevao's strike. Oh, good block there by George Johnston. Well, the stoppage time last season was just scandalous, man. You just expected 9, 10, 11, 12 minutes even. This time you're seeing a lot more of the old times, the 3s, the 4s, the 5 minutes. So I guess players will take a bit of time to get used to it, but it's for the betterment of the game, man. More football, less stoppages, please. Here's Palmer. I thought he's going to get the evening off. Hence, he's possibly going to be playing 90 minutes here. I'm sure it's going to be 80. Has to be the cap for Cole Palmer. 60 would have been nice. 80 at best. If he can't beat Luton without Cole Palmer, we've got bigger problems, basically. So, here's Palmer with the turn. Palmer, great feed. Cole Palmer, well blocked. Desperate defending, but it does work in the end. Neto trying to brighten into the challenge. Right, I give it 75. I'm out of here. See you for the next one, brother. Thank you so much, Gautam, for tuning in. Chelsea versus Luton, not the highlight fixture, but still, I really do appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much, brother. I'll see you at the weekend. Palmer's hobbling. No, take him off. Take him off now, Xabi. He might have gotten a stamp, but I don't care. Take him off right now. Great feat again by Cole Palmer, man. I think he just trips, but we should not be tempting fate. No way. Absolutely not. Cole, just signal it, man. Just call it. It's fine. Here's Romeo Lavia. Estevao, first time whip ball on his left foot. Cleared away. If this game ends 1-0, certainly is a moral victory for Luton Town, man. Because Chelsea have not played like all their bench players or substitutes. Went with 5 starters, and still they did manage to keep Chelsea to just the 1 goal, and Palmer will finally be off. And so is Casey Palmer. The 2 Palmers are off by the looks of it, as Jamie Gittins will be introduced into the fray. I think Estevao will end up playing in the number 10 position, and Neto shifting to the right and Gittins to the left. Wouldn't be surprised if Estevao is off, but surely Cole has to go. Well, Cole's still on the pitch. A bit of confusion, but the play continues. Now Maxence Lacroix. Wells on for Marshall. And Cole on for Casey Palmer. Oh, poor ball there by Valentin Bako. But he nips in and wins it brilliantly. Lovely stuff there by the Argentine. Now Palmer to Estevao Willian on the right-hand side. Estevao on the outside. Estevao! It's the own goal. It's unfortunate for Luton, but Chelsea will take it. Brilliant from Estevao Willian. That was arrowing into the bottom corner. The Luton defender just hooks it into his own net. And in the stroke of 80 minutes, it is over. And now, Cole Palmer, get off. Again, it's down the right-hand side where Chelsea do get the success. Estevao Willian, it's just impossible to see which side he's going to go. As a defender, you don't want to show him on his left, but he's so proficient on going the other way too. All comes from Valentino Bacco, who originally lost the ball, then won it back, fed it to Cole Palmer. I think that ball was going off target. We'll take the goal, however it comes. As Estevao shot, put into the own net by Hakim Odofin. Chelsea 2-0 to the good, and it's game over. There's not much Odofin could have done there, but Chelsea, for a lot of huffing and puffing, have managed to score the second. Hakeem Odafin looks crestfallen there. And it's Estivao is coming off and Cole's still on the pitch. No, Palmer is off too. No, Palmer's still on the pitch. Why is Cole Palmer playing 90 minutes, Karan? Gittins is on for Estivao Williams, but why is Cole Palmer playing more now? Surely we can get Reggie Walsh in that number 10 position. Exactly, it's time to chill and prep for the Seagulls. Welbeck in the 50th minute and an Odafin own goal. Estivao Williams off for Jamie Gittins. Two players who joined in the summer last season. Gittins had a, let's not mince it, he had a terrible first season really. Thing is, for him, it's going to be difficult because Chelsea are going to end up playing a lot of the back three. And there's no obvious position for him. If Chelsea are playing the back four, him on the left-hand side, on the wing position, is an option. But because he's a touchline winger, it's going to need Chelsea to play the back four. Lavia, brilliant to Palmer. Nearly slips it through. It's Achumpong. What is he doing there? Need the rhythm. He had the entire summer off, but I am concerned of him playing all 90. He played 90 again. Did he play 90? Yeah, I think he played 90 against Fulham too, man. Doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sure Palmer has to come off now, but we took Hato, Joao Pedro, Lavia, Neto, and Gittins. Yeah, we have made all 5 subs. Cole Palmer's going to play 90 minutes. It's absolutely ridiculous. What the hell am I missing here? Why is he having to play 90 minutes? What kind of rhythm are you trying to build here? The rhythm has been built. He played a good game. Yeah, I think it's very irresponsible from Xabi Alonso, but Cole Palmer, don't do any meaningless sprints. Just stand there and stand alongside JP, really, and see if he can get the third, because this doesn't make too much sense here. I was expecting Cole Palmer to get the entire 90 off. Instead, he's playing the full 90. Again, it's not a Premier League side at the Bridge in the Carabao Cup. It's a League One side. We don't need Cole Palmer playing all 90 minutes, really. Well, 8 plus stoppage time remain at the Bridge. This as a spectacle is pretty much over. Chelsea could add more though. Pedro Neto wants to win Chelsea a corner. He's not going to do so. Goal kick for Luton. Yeah, Cole Palmer, no need to track back. Just stand there. Even I'm trying to justify Karan as to, is it rhythm, match fitness, sharpness? But, I mean, still early in the season. You expect Cole to be at his fittest best. Look at Lavia balling out. Joao Pedro caught on his heels there. Good bit of defending, and it's a good pass there to Johnson on the left-hand side. Decent switch off to the man who unfortunately scored the own goal. Jamie Gittins trying to put Josh Keeley under pressure. The goalkeeper very calm under pressure. And trying to play the 1-2 doesn't work. It's all about game management now from Chelsea's point of view. 6.5 minutes plus stoppage time remain at the Bridge. So, Karan, who are you giving the man of the match to? I have a few candidates. Go from the back, Achumpong being one. But Valentin Barco in midfield was excellent. I mean, Danny Welbeck, as it stands, did score the first goal. I'm giving it to Valentin Barco. Pretty comfortable giving it to him. Would have happy to give Josh Achumpong too, but considering Chelsea's defense hasn't been tested too much, but whatever little was asked of him, he did it so well. And if Chelsea do end up getting the clean sheet, it's a gold star. But yeah, Valentin Barco on Chelsea debut, as voted or as announced really by me as the man of the match. Decent carry on the left-hand side. Luton looking for a consolation goal at least, or looks to try and make it an interesting last 5 minutes. Here's Liam Walsh. Finds Hakeem Odofin. Decent channel pass. Maxence requires there to meet him. Decent rotations here from Luton. Here's Walsh. Shifting it onto the right-hand side. 5 minutes plus stoppage time remain at the bridge here. Chelsea looking for their first clean sheet of the season. And Achimpong again with the crucial interception, man. Did we just give man of the match to Josh Achimpong? I think it'll be a lot more accurate. He's made some crucial interceptions. And we have a clean sheet, and there's been no real standout attacker for us. Heaviest touch. JP trying to make something of it, but he gets moved off the ball. Again, this cameo really so pointless, man. Why are we bringing on Joao Pedro for the last 5 minutes? I mean, I guess the score was 1-0, so we thought we need to bring on Joao Pedro, but if Manuel Mega can't come off as second striker against a League One side at home, yeah, Bako or Josh are the two clear candidates, Karan. I'll leave it to the live chat to decide who is the man of the match here for it. I'd be comfortable with either. Josh Prop on this channel. Loud and proud, my brothers. Always. Cobham yet again producing another top defender. Reece James, Levi Colville. Can even add now Josh Achimpong. He's not a top defender yet, but in terms of the skill set, there is a serious player in there. And this is why I do not want to see Neto playing on the wings, because you're going to see foolishness like that. But this is why I want to see Neto as wing back. Exactly because of that. Brilliant. That is Neto in a nutshell. Can't play winger, can play wing back. It's his pace, man. Pace in the Premier League is always welcome. Here's Gittins. Ken Gittins, come on, take the ball, drive, man. It's the one huge red flag against Jamie Gittins last season. For all of Garnacho's faults, right? I mean, and boy, oh boy, did he have bags full of them, but he always went at the fullback. Never discouraged. Jamie Gittins, I feel he's so passive for a man with his ability, his 1v1 dribbling, pace, directness. He just uses it. He pretty much just turns the tap on when he feels like it. Come on, he's 1v2 here. Does he look to take on? No, he doesn't. Okay, the game doesn't have the urgency to have the burst, but you're going to get very limited minutes, man. You have to identify that, and you almost have to force Xabi Alonso to look towards you. For that, you have to play extraordinary stuff every time you do get the opportunity. Neto finds Palmer. Palmer still breaking his neck to get in towards that decently clipped pass. Palmer's got the captain's armband. I think that's the first time Cole has won the armband. Here's Bako. And Jarell Hato. Now Gittins. Again, he's doubled. Finds Jarell Hato. Gittins again trying to receive and shift. Again, Gittins, come on! Take him on! Yes, do something. Make it look like you're working. Bako with a clip, and Achimpong! Oh, that would have been perfect. The two man of the match contenders nearly combined. The offside flag was raised in the end, but a brilliant pass by Valentin Bako. And Josh Achimpong, that is not the first time you're seeing him make forward runs. He just remains forward. Achimpong is just offside. Oh, he does everything right there. Very, very close to adding the third. Well, final minute of normal time. Job done here, and the attention turns to Brighton at home. Oh my word, my heart is already pounding, and that game is only on Sunday. It's going to be such a tricky game, and of course, Arsenal away, let's not sugarcoat it here. I'm absolutely dreading it. Our record at the Emirates in the last 5 years has been horrifying. Neto finds Penders. Looks like Penders will get a clean sheet on his Chelsea debut. Albeit against the League One side, but he'll take it. Neto finds JP. Here's Joao Pedro. Joao Pedro, excellent, great feet. Now Gittins. Kenny's doubled. Gittins is so slow in his actions, man. Why is he just unwilling to go? Here's Lavia. He's almost trying to be very cautious with the ball. We're into stoppage time here. Achimpong. Neto. Back to Achimpong. Hopefully law of averages kicks in and we finally turn them Gunners around. It's going to take more than law of averages. We're going to need the Murphy's Law in favor of Arsenal. Here's Gittins. Chavaria. It's Cole. Palmer, good save. And Joao Pedro on the follow. Brilliant double save. Oh, wow. Josh Keeley. That's not the first time he's made an outstanding double save. Surely Joao Pedro thought he's going to score. Brilliant stuff indeed. Who scored for Chelsea? Asked Chris Williams. Well, the first was scored by Danny Welbeck after Malo Gusto's excellent first-time ball into the box. Danny Welbeck with a typical Danny Welbeck header. And the second needed a touch of fortune. Esteban Willian on that right-hand side. Step over on his right foot, trying to find the far corner. But the centre-half, Hakim Odofin, did nudge it into his own net. So that was the two goals that Chelsea did remember scoring. Welbeck and an own goal. Lacroix mops up. Lacroix just added a lot more of that calmness at the back, hasn't he? I mean, could he be that key signing that unlocks everything for us? Here's Gittins finally having a run. Here's Jamie Gittins! Oh, hits the post! Well, that's what he is all about. We were begging for Jamie Gittins to do that, and he finally does. He could have squared it for Cole Palmer, but I'm happy he went for the shot, man. It'll go in, you just keep trying. I want to see the attitude, the application, the effort. These are more important than the final actions. I never judge players based on goals and assists. It's never about just the final actions. And that from Jamie Gittins was more like it. A bit of space and that directness that he's very much capable of. Well, Chelsea did strike the crossbar in the first half. Chris Williams. Morgan Rogers from that Esteban Willian ball in. Thundered against the crossbar. Now we hit the post. Oh, Joao Pedro's pass across intercepted. Sherel Hato quickly to it. Final 90 seconds of stoppage time remain. Luton looking for a consolation. On the left-hand side, Lavia shuts down. Back onto the left. Achimpong is there. Brilliant, man, Josh. I'm changing it. It's Josh Achimpong, man of the match. I was going for Valentin Barco, but I'm giving it to Josh Achimpong with another interception. Karan, do you have Josh Achimpong's stats for me? To pretty much highlight, stamp my point here because he's just been first class, man. He has to start against Brighton. I see Wesley Fofana just waltz back into the starting 11, which he very much will be by the looks of it. There's just no justice in football. William Walsh will possibly take this final attack of the match. Corner for Luton. Decent header. And it's out for a goal kick. That should be that. Well, Chelsea's reward of finishing 10th last season in the Premier League meant that we had to play the second round of the Carabao Cup. We don't see that very often at Chelsea. But it looks like we'll get the job done there. That was brilliant from Gittins, man. 3 out of 3 tackles won. Feels like more, man. He's won so... Yeah, there you go. 6 out of 6 duels. It's just supreme play, man. He's just so much bigger than everybody else. He's quick too. So how do you try and get around Josh Achimpong, who's going to be a real problem? And the longer this stays on, more power to Chelsea as the full-time whistle blows at the bridge. Jack Wilshere's side did give Chelsea a real game, and fair play to the League One side. It took 50 minutes before Chelsea opened the scoring from Malo Gusto's cross into the box, and Danny Welbeck scoring on debut his first Chelsea goal. We had to wait till the 80th minute till we got the second. Estuar Williams' right-footed shot was trying to get that into the far corner. Took a wicked deflection really from Hakim Odofin, and the defender just turned it into his own net. 2-0 on the night. Chelsea get the job done and progress to the third round. Well, good stuff this from Chelsea. Not too many incidents to worry about. We did play some good football in the first 45 minutes. That goal did elude us. But from there, I thought Chelsea showed that professionalism. Xabi Alonso giving Cole Palmer 90 minutes. I'm not too happy about that, but I think it's more and more to give Cole Palmer minutes in his legs as he got the summer off, and he'll be ready to really go after Brighton again. Remember, Cole scored 4 against Brighton in the first half 2 seasons ago as he'll look to try and replicate his heroics. Full-time 2-0 as Xabi Alonso having a lengthy chat with the officials. Job done, boys. João Pedro getting a light 10-minute workout. We did see 5 starters for Chelsea who started against Fulham. We saw Lacroix, Achimpong, Reece James, Morgan Rogers, and Cole Palmer all start. Cole Palmer ends up completing 90 minutes. Lacroix and Achimpong too playing 90 minutes. It was Reece James and Morgan Rogers who got a bit of time off, but it's a risky game that Xabi Alonso's played, but fortunately we come out unscathed. 2-0, job done, guys. Barcelona are 1-0 up against Athletic Club. How much time is there? Half an hour? Should I just quickly switch in there? You guys are going to tune in or are you going to sign out? If you're going to sign off, I might bounce as well. There is 30 minutes of the Barca Athletic Club game. Rafinha had opened the scoring for Barcelona the last time I checked. Is it still 1-0? Let me just have a look. Yeah, 1-0. About 34 minutes remaining. I'll just probably just tune in for 10 minutes if you guys are going to hang around here. Anthony Gordon's having a look at him for the first time. Barcelona did end up beating Elche 5-0 away from home. Trying to keep pace with Jose Mourinho's Real Madrid. Madrid, who had a difficult game against Espanyol. They needed a Carlos Espí stoppage time winner to take all 3 points. But the game against Real Sociedad at home was a lot more straightforward. But the straightforward bit did happen in the second 45 and not in the first half. It was 1-1. Kylian Mbappe opened the scoring with a brilliant left-footed strike into the top corner. Then, of course, we saw the equalizer from Luka Susic. And then it was the Mbappe and Vini show. Mbappe scoring 2, Vinicius scoring 1, Jude Bellingham getting a couple of assists. La Liga is certainly going to be interesting this season. Do Barcelona three-peat, or will Real Madrid finally break this Barcelona dominance? And yet to see Rodri as well. I mean, Barcelona still have to add Rodri to this. Great play there when Anthony Gordon is playing centre forward. Now on the right-hand side, let me just quickly have a look at the Barcelona team as well, because I know Rafinha, Lamal, and Dani Olmo and Anthony Gordon are the front 4. Fermin Lopez and not Dani Olmo. One of my friends just messaged me, Palmer played 90 minutes criminal. Well, he clearly didn't join the stream because you would have heard me say the same. Brilliant from Lamine Yamal on the right-hand side. Here's Yamal. Squeezes it through onto the left-hand side. Could go for the strike from distance. Good save. Barcelona. We saw Lamine Yamal just hit the crossbar moments earlier. They continue to attack Athletic Club here. Good save there by Unai Simon, World Cup winner. Barcelona playing with Martin and Kubarsi as their two centre-backs. Got that La Masia left back too. What's his name? Let me just remember that. Espart, yeah, Espart at left back. They've got Marc Bernal, who's back in after his ACL injury, who further fortifies the midfield for Barcelona. Inaki Williams is off. Berenguer is on in place of him. Final half an hour here at the... It's not the Camp Nou, is it? Oh, it looks like Nico Williams is off too. Oh, it's just Inaki Williams. I'm just going to do another 5 minutes of this game and I pop off, guys. I mean, thank you all for tuning in. Oh, Rodri's coming. We are seated here. Rodri and Dani Olmo. Guys, you're going to do another 15 more minutes. Oh, yeah, we are seated. We are ready. I was about to turn the stream off, Matt, but Rodri is making his La Liga debut for Barcelona. Of course, was at Villarreal, then Atletico Madrid. One season was all it took before he moved to Manchester City. Turns into the best midfielder in the world, and now Barcelona, for all of 70 million euros, secured his service with 1 year left on his deal. Here's Lamine Yamal. Outrageous skill. That's a foul. Should be a yellow card too. Oh, Barcelona nearly scored the second there. Fermin Lopez, who scored a brace in that game against Elche. Sat up nicely for the number 7. That's much better. El Rodri's on. Rafinha is off. The best midfielder in world football has been greeted with a rapturous applause. Bernal off as well, with Dani Olmo coming in. The two World Cup winners introduced for the final half an hour. Rodri immediately involved with a header in midfield. I was thinking about Chelsea goalkeepers, right, and who Chelsea could have possibly got. We ended up getting Emiliano Martinez for 7.5 million quid. I was wondering why Unai Simon isn't one of those players Chelsea could have gone for. Are we still thinking about spending 80 million euros on Kepa from Athletic Bilbao and deciding never again? Barca playing some lovely combinations on the left-hand side. I'm trying to venture forward. Good bit of defending. Here's Kubarsi. Finds Eric Garcia. Now into midfield. Bilbao trying to work through. Oh, the high line that Hansi Flick absolutely loves. Gordon gets clattered there. Espa trying to just nip the ball in. Could be a yellow card there. Fermin Lopez getting... Dani Olmo rather getting cleaned out. Pretty rough challenge there. Welcome Back to the league, Dani Olmo. I thought Olmo was the best number 10 in the tournament. I mean, a lot of people will say Michael Elise, and I understand why because of his assist, but Dani Olmo's tournament, man, it was ridiculous. That is exactly how a number 10 needs to play, man. Take notes, Bruno Fernandes and all. I mean, the intelligence, the 360 vision, the touch, the turn, everything about his display was just special. Here's Anthony Gordon. Kubarsi from distance, clever pass. Fermin tries to go outside the defender. It's cleared away. Fermin Lopez trying to make things happen on that occasion. And Chelsea had put a ridiculously cheeky 40 million euro bid for Fermin Lopez at the end of the summer window. Barcelona obviously rejected it. Chelsea ended up getting Facundo Bonanote. Oh, Fermin Lopez attacking the box. I mean, that was a terrible plan B decision there from Chelsea. I think Chelsea were going for Xavi Simons as well. Spurs ended up muscling Chelsea in that department because Chelsea were looking for a backup number 10 really. But settling on Facundo Bonanote turned out to be a terrible decision. He ended up going, I mean, we got him on loan from Bournemouth and then he ends up on loan to Leeds from there. That was the Yamal effort that took a deflection and off the crossbar. Lovely touch. Again, the high line exposed on the left-hand side. Bilbao in business. Oh, it's a heavy-ish touch and Rodri comes up and nips it really well. And the offside flag raised too. The high line that Hansi Flick has employed since joining the club. It's almost synonymous really with Barcelona. Here's Fermin. Now Kubarsi finds Lamine Yamal. Kubarsi. A lot of World Cup winners out there. Now Espart. Possession this from Barcelona. Rodri. Anthony Gordon is the man who's trying to stretch the pitch as much as possible. And Lamine Yamal doing the rest on the right-hand side. Clever outside of the boot pass here with the cutback. Well defended. Corner for Barcelona. Looking for the second to kill the game off. And Barcelona yet to concede a goal in La Liga. 5-0 away at Fucking hell. Is that Aymeric Laporte? He's back? What? He is moved to Athletic Bilbao. Fair play, man. I was wondering what the hell is he still doing in Saudi? He has no business playing for Al Nassr. The World Cup winner, the magnificent centre-half that he is back in Europe and he goes back to his home. Fair play, man. Great to see Aymeric Laporte. I've clearly not been paying attention to the summer window in La Liga. What a pass that is for Lamine Yamal. The first touch is very heavy though. Unai Simon quickly off his line, but just like that, Barcelona open up the high line. Great pass there by Pedri. Pedri's got a new hairstyle. He's bleached it completely. I think that would have been one of the trade-offs that if I win the World Cup, I'm going to do something funky with my hair. Heavy-ish touch there by Lamine Yamal as Espart's rocket. 115 Ks hit at Unai Simon. The number of La Masia graduates that just spawn out of nowhere really into the Barcelona squad just shows you, man, Barcelona don't need to buy players. They just don't. All the solutions are in-house. You look at the defenders, they've got Kubarsi. You look at the midfielders, they've got Pedri, Gavi, Bernal is there. You look at attackers, Fermin Lopez, Lamine Yamal. There's solutions at home, man. You don't have to go and spend crazy money. I mean, they have ended up spending money on Gordon, Adeyemi, and Rodri, but it's almost like necessity signings, really, because Barcelona will continue to want pace in the forward areas. If Rafinha or Lamine Yamal misses any bit of time, they don't want that pace and that threat to disappear. So you can understand the signings of both Gordon and Karim Adeyemi. So Neko is off and Johan will take his place. Adama and Benyat comes on for Regizar. Decent performances as Bilbao looking for the equalizer. Simon's pass is very good. And this is a game of high technical excellence, guys. I mean, not sure how many of you are trying to tune in and watch this match, but very high level of football here. Final 20 minutes. Might as well go through it. I mean, until Barcelona score the second. If Barca score the second, I'm out of here. Purpose of the stream was Chelsea versus Luton, but that got done. Saw that this game was very much in the balance. 1-goal advantage, not comfortable, especially with the high line that Barcelona do play. But taking off both Inaki and Nico Williams has certainly reduced some of the threat in behind for Athletic Bilbao. Here's Kubarsi, Garcia. Now John Garcia. Paul Kubarsi. Lamine. Not the World Cup that he was hoping to have, Lamine Yamal. Expecting to really burst onto like he did in the Euros when he was a 16-year-old as the tournament was going on. He turned 17 before the finals. And he locked up his first trophy, first major international trophy. And 2 years later, he's a world champ. Lamine Yamal and Pau Kubarsi are a Champions League away from completing football before they turn 20. Here's Yamal. Wow, what a pass. Gordon is through here. Anthony Gordon tries to catch out Unai Simon at the near post. Anthony Gordon can only applaud that. Lamine Yamal, brilliant vision. And that is what Anthony Gordon brings here. He's got pace in abundance. He's playing as a makeshift forward. Touch and shoot, well defended in the end. Corner for Barcelona. They've got Pedri, Rodri, Dani Olmo as their midfield three. Rafinha has come off. Here's Yamal. Great corner in. Oh, chance for the free header. It's just about cleared away. Here's Pedri. Olmo. Finds John Garcia. Or Rodri. Barcelona's technical excellence really through the roof here. They're just so comfortable on the ball, everybody. You just can't have deficiencies. Technically, that is, if you're playing for this team. You'll be found out, not just like you'll be fine against opposition, but in your own training, you'll feel out of your depth. Rodri, brilliant, man. That's what he's in the team for. Another aspect of his game that is so valuable is interceptions. Decent ball in. And I think there's Aymeric Laporte. No, it was the centre forward. Decent little jump from him. I think it was Sanchez with the header, but much better there from Bilbao, trying to upset the rhythm of Barcelona. Garcia with the clearance on the left-hand side. Bilbao trying to make inroads. Pedri with the clearance. Fermin Lopez with an outstanding turn. And now Fermin feeds Anthony Gordon on the left-hand side. Barcelona have 4 committed into this attack. Looking for the second. Gordon on the outside. Decent ball in. Cleared away. Bilbao defend well. Trying to start a quick attack instead. Decides against it. Good bit of play here to get the ball away from Lamine Yamal. Bilbao know that they can keep playing these channel passes because of the Barcelona high line. And Garcia does really well. That's a foul there, ref. No, he plays on. Oh, that's a curious decision. And the strike hits the base of the post. Oh, what a chance that was for Bilbao. Sanchez with the strike. He's had 2 glorious opportunities. Barcelona were convinced that that should have been a free kick. Probably got a case here because he just drags the shoulder of Garcia behind. And this shot by Sanchez had Joan Garcia scrambling. Base of the post, and Barcelona survive. Well, 15 minutes plus stoppage time remain. 4th corner for Bilbao. It's a flick-on header that's cleared away. Barcelona not too much height and presence in the box, but they do manage to clear. Well, Bilbao will take enough encouragement from the last couple of attacks. Here's Unai Simon. It's a long punt forward. What a pass by Simon, man. Great bit of play. Eric Garcia. Looks like he's run a marathon here at right back. Oh, that's a curious ball and comfortable for Joan Garcia. Barcelona having made just the 2 changes. Dani Olmo and Rodri coming on. They're readying a few more here at the Amy, and looks like Jules Koundé also might be ready for action. And Jules Koundé has been Hansi Flick's Iron Man, really. I think even for Xavi, when he was there, Jules Koundé was a permanent fixture at right back. He barely misses games. No surprise, he's right back for France as well. Now Fermin. Yamal. Now Garcia. Yamal. Gordon. Offside flag not raised. Athletic trying to play Barcelona at their own game here with the high line. Here's Kubarsi. The only problem is Barcelona can be super ruthless going forward. Espat making the underlap. Here's Gordon. Bit of trickery. He wants the foul. He's not going to get it. And Gordon tries the flip-flap, but it does not work. Well, any forward really who dons the Barcelona jersey just love to emulate Ronaldinho in that sense. The elastico, the flip-flap, as they call it, did end up getting the free kick for it. Barcelona looking for the second before full time and pretty much had the perfect start to La Liga. As of now, 6 points, 6 goals scored, none conceded. Superb from Hansi Flick's men. Here's Olmo. It's Lamine Yamal. Well blocked. Oh, Fermin wins the ball high up the pitch onto the left-hand side. They keep it alive here towards the fast take. Eric Garcia throws himself in harm's way to try and head that in. Keeps alive here. Gordon. And on the bicycle. Oh, what an effort. Would have been offside. Unai Simon making a great save. And Pau Kubarsi, of all people, attempting the overhead there. And Barcelona's high press trying to make things happen. Is he offside here? Yeah, he was offside, Pau Kubarsi. Gordon just looped it in. Great connection there by the centre half. The ridiculous technique. Oh, is that going to be a pen there? Because there is contact on Garcia in his chest. The ball goes away. Let's see by Unai Simon in the end. Jules Koundé is coming on. And so is Karim Adeyemi. Koundé will replace Eric Garcia at right back, like for like swap. And Anthony Gordon's off as well, replaced by Karim Adeyemi. The two players though brought in for a sizable chunk really. I think Gordon went for 60 odd million and Adeyemi for somewhere in the 50 million range. I'm just going to do a last attack here, guys. Thank you all for tuning in, but I'm very much into overtime here into the stream. There's 10 minutes remaining. If Athletic get the equalizer here, might be forced to stay for the next 10 minutes. That's the ex-Dortmund coach. What's his name? Terzic? Edin Terzic? Yeah, Edin Terzic. Not bad. Yeah, 10 minutes remaining. Anyways, guys, I'm tuning out. Pretty much checked out here for the game, but thank you all for tuning in. I really do appreciate it, and we'll be back on the live streams on Saturday, Sunday, and of course Monday night. Every single Premier League game of importance and real seismic nature we will be covering on Under the Sun. Of course, live streams of Real Madrid will continue. Champions League action will resume as the draws were out tonight. Some tasty clashes to keep our midweeks going. Here's Karim Adeyemi. His first attack is a cutback opportunity, and the second will happen. It comes in fortuitous manner, but they'll take it. It is Fermin Lopez who scored a brace against Elche. Now scores the second. It's 2-0 to Barcelona. It's game over. Barcelona go top of La Liga. 7 goals conceded, 7 goals scored, none conceded. 6 points on the board. 2-0. Game over. Well, Fermin Lopez having those kind of seasons where you just feel like he is just going to elevate his game to the next level. Top player. Number 7 now on his back after Ferran Torres' departure, as Fermin Lopez looks to go one step further. Good play there by Karim Adeyemi on that left-hand side, showcasing electric pace. Just puts it into a danger area. The clearance just went straight into the path of Fermin, who could not believe his luck. He's not going to score a simpler goal all season. From a yard out, empty net. 2-0 to Barcelona. Game over. Barcelona top of the league. 7 scored, none conceded. 6 points on the board. Ominous start for Hansi Flick's men. Anyways, guys, it's game over here. I'm off, and I'll see you guys over the weekend.